everyone, my name is Rhea Cotton Landry and I am the broker owner of Cotton Realty, and I am so excited to be here for yet another groundbreaking ceremony for the McGee's here in Rodeo, California. So Rodeo, California is an unincorporated area of Contra Costa County, and we're going to talk today about new construction and what that process looks like, the market, and if anyone has any questions regarding new construction, the market, feel free to chime in during this chat. But before we get started, I just want everyone to introduce themselves. Again, my name is Rhea Cotton Landry. I am the broker owner of Cotton Realty. I've been in the mortgage and real estate industry for about 18, 19 years now, and started in the mortgage industry and then transitioned into real estate. And Gert, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Rhea. Hi, my name is Gert Van Dahl. I'm the founder of Rate Secure. I've been in the business for going on 22 years, always in mortgage.
Hello, I'm Deborah McGee, developer, designer, project manager, or all the other else's. And we've been doing this since 2000. Yes. All right.
My name is Mike McGee. A lot of times, you know, I'm going to put the spotlight on ourselves, because a lot of times we shy away from being in front of the mic. But, you know, I personally just want to thank God for giving us this opportunity. It really means a lot. It really does. And Rhea, you are so creative, and we are really blessed to have you in our lives.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Did you say who you were?
I did say Mike. Thank you.
And your role in the project?
My role, I'm like that finance guy that gets bossed around, and so I have to listen a lot, you know. But my wife she's an amazing woman, and you know, you have to be on your P's and Q's, and so I appreciate that, and so I'm still learning in terms of her direction, and but she wants things to work out right, and so I fully understand.
Thank you. I appreciate that too.
It's all about appreciation. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
This has been an amazing journey and opportunity to work, and I just want to start off with building community. So part of this project, when you guys started, you identified the property, but you were new to the Rodeo community. And so I think in being a real estate professional and supporting developers in a community, it is very important to touch base with what makes up Rodeo, California, what makes up a community that you're about to build in. And so in part of that process, when you were remodeling the first property, so they've completed one project, which is next door. So this is kind of what I consider phase 2 of 3, because after this phase, they have water lots to build on, and who knows what's going to come next, because the county has been eager to get the team on board with the county, and you just never know where this is going to go from here. So it's very important to put the infrastructure in place on how you're going to develop in a community. And I think my priority in being the real estate professional in this project, it was really important for me to build community. And so in that, I started off with becoming a member of the Bayfront Chamber of Commerce. The Bayfront Chamber of Commerce covers not only Rodeo, California, but also Pinole and Hercules, California. And so you will see myself and my team doing various different events throughout the city, being very involved in their community organizations, patronizing the businesses within the community when we have events like this. For instance, Four Fools Winery is right down the street. I had my company holiday party at Four Fools Winery just to really show the community that we're not just here to sell property and make profit. We are really invested in the community. And so with that, you get the buy-in of the community, who is looking initially, I could assume, at the development, like, what's going on here? Like, we've had no movement in this community for years. And now who is this coming and shaking the table in our little town, you know? So in addition to that, I have to really commend Mike too on stepping up and reaching out with the local grocery store in the area. So one thing that we want to do is not only bring in buyers into this community, but have resources for them, entertainment, what's important with the schooling. The park is across the street, Lefty Gomez Field. It really, the park really brings community together. You'll find car shows, the baseball games, art exhibits. The community center really brings the community together. And so when you're in, I see the future of Rodeo as really being a elite type community that people will want to be a part of. Because as we come out of the pandemic, as we come out of being sheltered in place, I think we can really value family and community and being separated and then coming back together. So that is very important. So that's really my role initially when the projects start, is to really have that community influence. Which is a daily, monthly, yearly, however the development takes to get completed, because you have new construction and then you have subdivisions. So subdivisions can be a longer process than just building on land in an area. So it's consistent partnership with the community. And so moving on, I just want to pass it on to Gerb to talk about where we are in the market. So it is currently June 2023, and just want him to touch on where we are with the market.
First, thanks, Freya. And let me share my appreciation. Thank you for having me here today and being part of this project. Super happy to be here. This is a great. We were having a conversation earlier about we're starting to build these beautiful homes, and with the market, with the inflation coming down, rates that paused last week, we're going to continue to hopefully take the path to lower rates, right? That's the conversation that's happening on a daily basis, but hopefully by year end, next year, hopefully when we're closing the homes here, we're at, we'll be lower than today for sure, but hopefully a lot more lower interest rates than where we are today. Markets, low inventory, right? And this is where I think for Rodeo, being able to have brand new homes, right? Providing shelter. That's what every community you look at, every county, every city, housing is the number one crisis. Precise other than San Francisco and other markets, but you have a huge part in building homes where people, this is their home, and there's not enough of it. We talk to buyers on a daily basis, and house comes up on the market, by the end of the day it's gone, and folks have, of course, record low interest rates on their current homes, so they're holding them very tightly, right? And this is where what you guys are doing plays such a big role in making inventory available for new buyers that want to move into Rodeo. And that's going to continue to be we're going to have inventory concerns, continue to do so, just because people don't want to give up their 2.5–3% interest rates on their current homes that they have. You think twice about selling when you have such a low rate, and I think that's going to be the course for the next couple of years until the rates really start to come down and people are comfortable with moving up or relocating, and they're okay with giving up the payment that they currently have. So, if you could buy now, buy now. But this is perfect because these are going to be in completion in times where rates will be lower, much affordable, and you'll have the options available to be able to live in this beautiful community.
Thank you, Gerb. And when you talk about housing and inventory, I think one thing that is very important and that we talked about in the design is what type of community is Rodeo and the needs, right? And so what you see in Rodeo are a lot of multi-generational families living together in one home. And so if you're anything like me, you love family, but you want your own space too. And so I think that is what is so awesome about the developments that are coming up. They're multi-generational homes where you have a single family home, but you also have what's called an accessory dwelling unit, additional unit living space that is separate from the main house for either rental potential or multi-generational living. And that is something that I see prominent in this area, Hercules, Pinole, Rodeo. A lot of families living together, so you have the need for a downstairs bedroom so that there's accessibility for, if you're in a two-story home, you have a downstairs bedroom so there's accessibility for folks that are not prone to climb stairs every day. Then you have your accessory dwelling unit, which is a separate living space so that you're still joining financially, joining as a family together in the purchase of a property and making it work in the California market. And so I want to pass it over to Mike to kind of talk about the identification of the property and an overview of the process, and then move on to Debbie to discuss the finishes and how she selects the finishes. Because one thing that you'll find in these properties, these are luxury properties. She has very expensive taste, I have to say. and it's nothing short of amazing. So in addition to building and providing inventory, it's not just throwing up a house. It's done with love and care and with eloquent design. So Mike, you want to start off and just kind of go over what people can expect? Because I think one thing about this talk today is to show people that it's possible. There's so many people that have identified land, maybe have additional land on their property, but they just don't know where to start.
Years ago, I think it was 2013, I had driven by here and I saw this big sign and the house was for sale, but I didn't know that it included the lot in the back. So I drove by here again. I said, let me call. And I called and, they wanted to meet. And so as I get older, I think a lot now. And there was something about Helen Keller. They asked her, they said, what's the worst part about being blind? And she said, for people who can see but have no vision. And so my wife always says that I'm a visionary. I can go and seek out land and cultivate it and make it grow. And so when I saw that, I never knew that it would turn into this. So this is pretty amazing. And sometimes even at night, I go back and I do a rewind, and you learn from this. And so what I see going forward, this is going to be pretty amazing. Multi-generational. Sometimes you have to think outside the box, and you can't be afraid to take risks. If you don't invest money, you're not going to get rich. You have to invest money. I'm a licensed investment advisor. I talk to people about, I educate people about the importance of saving money every day, and it takes time to do well. And so this has been it's a long process. The building process is a long process, but what I've gathered in this whole scenario, I've learned the surveying process. I've learned the soils engineer process. I've learned the civil process, and so I've been really educating myself really well. So the waterfront property that we have now has caught up to this because I know the steps really well now. And so we're gonna breathe life into this. My wife is gonna come in and do all the designing. My part is to talk to the surveyors, the civil engineers. We have, the guys even got started and we didn't have our grading permit, but that's because the county, their public works department and their grading department, they don't share information. So it's not on us, it's on them. And so I even told them, I said, hey, you guys should share information with each other because you slow down the customer. And so they said they'll take it back to the supervisor. But again, this is it's a long process to obtain building permits. It's a long process to get planning approval. It's a long process to go through public works because public works has to approve the infrastructure. There's storm drains that go underneath this ground. There's East Bay mud, water lines that go underneath the ground. So it's a lot of stuff, and so you have to be equipped to be able to manage that on a daily basis. And so again, that's my part. So I'm going to turn it over to my wife and let her talk about all the design phases. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my area is to work with the architect. He gives me like a basic structure. We start off with a particular style. So what we've been working with recently is a modern something. I don't want to call it traditional. The first one was a traditional, but this is more of a modern style that we've been working with lately. So we choose a style, we work with the structure, then we get to the details of it, you know, the sizing, the what I call the flow and feng shui of it all. Make sure that it's accessible to those that may have some challenges, or even to make sure we provide maximize the space, because I believe in providing livable space where the family is enjoying their homes, where they feel like they're in their own oasis. I've said it time and time again. The other thing is the buildings themselves, they all, like I say, they speak to me. So they give me the idea of what's the character of the house, what's the shades of the colors, what will bring life to the home, and what will, when the family comes into the home, that they feel warm, welcome, and safe within their space. And I start from maybe a fixture or a color or something of that nature that relates to the home, and make sure I grow from there to finish it out. And I've said before, I try to make sure that the homes are different flavors, different characters, because I don't want them all to be the same. So yes, I take a lot of time to research, to coordinate from a screw to a shelf, paint, stucco outside, all the way to the doorknob and the color of the door to welcome in the family into their new homes. So I take the time to, like I said, to research, blend it together, and to blend 6 homes. I don't know, I guess if I had like 35 homes, I might make it a little more similar, but with the working with the smaller quantity, I'm able to do the custom and the luxury within each home, which I appreciate. And then to see the face of the families after they acquire the homes, that is so rewarding for me. And that's what I like the most, and that's why I do it.
Thank you. And I remember talking to Mike about just like real estate investing and fix and flip, and he's like, no, fix and flip is not the way to go. So I feel like been like the understudy through the whole process, because I was like, okay, Mike said fix and flip is not the way to go, so I'm looking at new builds, new construction. How can I make the best bang for the buck in California? And it's been an amazing learning experience. And again, I want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of this journey, being the understudy and actually having my own input. I'm like, I know a little, you know a lot. Let's put it together. No, but honestly, this has been amazing. I can't wait to see the new homes that are coming. There's a duplex with I think the second level deck is amazing. Third. Okay, third level deck is amazing. And then you have the ADUs, and so I just after this one is done, I guess we'll do another talk when the waterfront property comes. So as far as pricing in the market, usually when you're looking at the market and an appraiser is looking at value, you're looking at basically the sales within the last 6 months. What's recently sold in the last 3 to 6 months. You're looking at distance, so what's within the proximity. Maybe a half a mile isn't necessarily the same neighborhood. And then you're looking at likeness. And so this is a very unique opportunity for pricing, because it's something that this area has not seen before. And so we will have more information as we get closer to that 6-month mark of completion, before completion, where we'll have pricing available. So stay tuned. Follow Cotton Realty on Instagram, Facebook, and stay tuned on where we go with the development. I'll be documenting again the process, just like we did on London Lane, documenting the process. And as we get closer, stay tuned, because first come, first serve.
That's right.
Thank you.
I think you have a question.
Tashanika, you had a question?
Oh no, I was.
I'm sorry.
Thank
You can end it, please.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Yes.